You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. I got this quote from the book Atomic Habits. I highly recommend reading it if you're looking to get better at building good habits or you want to find a way of breaking bad ones. And what this was talking about was in regards to when we're trying to approach achieving things in life, whether that be professionally or in sport or with our personal health or with our relationships, we shouldn't get so zoned in on the goal that we're trying to achieve. Instead, what we should try to focus our attention on is creating systems and applying those systems consistently and regularly in order to move us towards our goals. You see, when we set ourselves big, lofty goals, like let's say you want to make £1 million, euros, dollars, whatever your currency is, in the next 12 months. If you spend your entire year just solely focused on that number and trying to get to that number, and that's where all of your energy is driven, you're going to fall short and get very frustrated when you do. Instead, the way we should focus our energy is once we've set that goal, once we have that in place, we then need to work on our systems to ensure that we get there and focus our time and our energy on ensuring that those systems are being regularly applied and adjusted over time. So for example, we've spoken the wealth creation series about clearing our debt, about figuring out the reasons we want to be rich. In the next episode, I'm going to be talking about savings and then eventually investments. So you might look at how much money you're putting away each month and you might have a system. I'm going to save 10% of my paycheck every single month into my savings account. You might then have an investing strategy over stocks and shares or index funds or specific stocks in certain companies. You have your systems in place. And as long as you are applying and focusing and working on those systems, you will move in the direction of your goals. The problem is that it often takes a lot longer to achieve our goals than we'd ever imagine. So I believe the popular saying is whatever you want to do is probably going to take twice as long and cost twice as much as you ever expected. And that's probably a good rule of thumb to go with. And the reason that people end up dropping their goals or failing at what they want to achieve is they set themselves what seemed like a reasonable target. But the reality of it is that we don't know how long certain things are going to take. So instead of focusing so solely on the deadline and on the date, on getting there at this time and this place, instead you want to put your energy into the system that's going to prepare you. A great way to think of this is when it comes to exams. So any of you that are currently in school and you're studying for exams, focusing on test day and sitting down to do the test and what the test is going to be is not going to be the thing that gets you there. What's going to be the thing that gets you the results that you want, let's say you want to get an A, a first, whatever it's called, the highest score, is going to be your system for revision and learning. It's going to be the systems that you put into place to ensure that when you sit down on exam day, you are prepared and you have the requisite knowledge to pass the test. It's the same thing that applies in sports. You don't focus all season on winning the big game at the end of the year. You focus all season on the drills, on the practice, and on refining these systems within your day to ensure that when it comes to game day, you're ready. And we need to trickle this down into our everyday lives. And this is why we talk about trying to rid ourselves of distraction. And it's a big reason why minimalism has seen kind of such an uprise, because minimalism is effectively a system for managing your time and managing the things around you and what goes in your life. Rather than focusing loads of energy each day on picking an outfit and spending loads of money on different clothes and keeping up with fashion, you minimalize that system into a couple of key things that you wear all the time, freeing up energy for you to put elsewhere. Now, that's not the right thing or the wrong thing. It's just a system. It's a thing you have in place. And you can hone these systems to make them more and more effective. So I've done a book on how I get more reading done. And I put systems in place, such as having a book by my bed, by having certain places I sit to read, by setting myself certain times of the day that are purely allocated for reading. So rather than my goal being, I want to read X amount of pages or X amount of books this month, I focus on my systems, and the results just speak for themselves. The results will just come by me focusing on what needs to be done to get me there, rather than solely looking at the finish line all the time. And the biggest thing about this is you then don't end up getting too hung up on the numbers. In trying to grow this YouTube channel, I don't look at my subscriber counts or my view counts in the sense of I'm not constantly checking them to see, is it going up? Is it going up? I apply systems of how often I'm going to post, what content I'm going to make, and I always try to make incremental improvements every time I make a video. And I trust that if I apply these systems long enough over time, that the results will come and they will speak for themselves. So don't focus on your goals, focus on the systems that you've put in place. And if you'd like a great drinking game, hey, take a shot every time I said the word systems or goals today. And as always, take care of yourself.